what is really going on with Gypsy Rose's tongue. It is not a lip-licking habit, rather it is tongue thrusting. But why? Why does she continually thrust her tongue? Well, it appears she might have a swallowing disorder. Hear me out. She seems to have something called the tongue thrust swallow reflex. It occurs as the result of poor tongue positioning. But what causes poor tongue positioning? According to the medical literature, a high arched palate can contribute to it. And a high arched palate is one symptom of Gypsy's chromosome disorder. As we see here, this issue can cause a high-pitched voice, which is undeniably one of Gypsy's most recognizable characteristics. Thumb sucking and the continued use of pacifiers or bottles can also lead to tongue thrusting. While in her 20s, Gypsy told Nick Godejohn that she was still drinking Pediasure from a bottle. A baby bottle, that is. Someone on Reddit describes their own tongue thrust situation.
Apparently, proper tongue positioning occurs when someone gently rests their tongue on the roof of the mouth and away from the teeth. During rest, the lips should also be closed, and the teeth slightly parted. I've spent my whole life with my tongue resting pressed up against the back of my front teeth. It's pushing my teeth apart and out of my mouth, and my top and bottom front teeth no longer touch when my mouth is closed. Only my back teeth do. This is the only reason I have now discovered this is a thing.
Severe tongue thrusting in adults occurs when an adult habitually pushes their tongue forward, often causing the tongue to protrude beyond their teeth and lips. This is precisely what Gypsy does, as many have noticed. One can clearly see the damage this did to her teeth prior to having them replaced with dentures. The photos you find online pale in comparison to Gypsy Rose's profoundly splayed teeth. In a more typical case, the tongue pushes against the backside of the front teeth, and at times also protrudes a little beyond. In Gypsy's case, the tongue goes well beyond the lips. This is shocking to many people watching her interviews and live streams. It's possible that Gypsy is now trying to overcome her tongue thrusting. To do so, she would likely be receiving myofunctional therapy. It is a therapy intended to help improve tongue positioning and tongue strength. Myofunctional therapy helps to address the underlying causes of the issue. An essential element of myofunctional therapy involves learning and practicing how to place the tongue in the correct position through the technique of suction. Someone with a high-arched palate might have a difficult time getting their tongue to form a proper suction on the roof of their mouth. Here, a speech therapist explains the importance of that tongue suction ability.
The reason we care if you can suction your tongue to the roof of your mouth is because it's a fundamental movement for ideal oral posture, tongue slightly suctioned to the roof of the mouth. It is also important in phases 1 and 2 of a normal swallow, which is initiated by that tongue position and a slight suction.
On average, we swallow our saliva once or twice per minute while awake. Imagine the stress of controlling a tongue that won't stay still during public appearances, like on social media or during interviews. Now, imagine the added challenge of trying to control her tongue thrust while also attempting to manage her public facade, all with the goal of creating the illusion of happiness, beauty, and contentment. Recently, viewers noticed Gypsy making clicking noises with her mouth during a live stream.
I'm gonna head to the airport. Do you use lashes or something?
A speech therapist demonstrates the clicking technique, which is an essential part of myofunctional therapy. This technique aids in training the tongue to assume the correct position. In addition, there are a variety of appliances that can be used to address tongue thrusting issues. It is unknown if Gypsy has utilized any of these appliances or devices as part of her myofunctional therapy. It's plausible that she has considered treatments to widen her palate. There are appliances that can be placed in the mouth to facilitate palate expansion. We became aware of new information while working on this video. It appears that Gypsy has received dental implants. Apparently, tongue thrusting can jeopardize the stability of dental implants. This further supports the likelihood that Gypsy is undergoing some form of therapy and treatment to address her tongue thrusting habits. However, the question remains whether Gypsy will commit herself to the necessary effort needed to correct her tongue thrusting habit and adopt a healthy swallowing technique. Time will tell.